In the Valley of Indie Games, there are three categories that I like to use: the inspired, the creative, and the Arkham Asylum patients. Look far enough and you'll find literally any idea ever for a game turned into an indie game. Explore the internet, skating and street arts, 1930s cartoon. But there are a few games to which I have to ask the developers if their intent here was to drive a person to the brink of insanity. I mean, it's either that or an epilepsy attack, which, by the way, let me just say, none of these games should be shown to a person susceptible to epilepsy, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, with 100%, with 1000% confidence. I tell you, please do not watch this video if you're a person susceptible to epilepsy, seizures, or anything else that could be caused by flashing lights and the such. Trust me, it'll get ugly. I'm always down to recommend some games, so here are, just the most batshit insane indie games that I have played. I would like to think that I have played and learned about a fair amount of indie games, yet nothing can properly prepare me for those games that are just completely out of their minds, and to say that Ultrakill is one of those games will be more than an understatement. It'll be a fucking disservice. Ultrakill was a game that I didn't have any intentions of playing until my friend Cody asked me what it would take for me to make an Ultrakill video, to which I jokingly responded, well, buying the game for one. Can you guess what appeared on my Steam gifts not even half an hour later? If I had to describe the game, it would probably be Doom for insane people, which, considering the person who gifted me the game in the first place, seems like an incredibly accurate statement. I mean, I started the game and... oh! Okay! No preamble, no nothing. Whatever happened to at least letting me see the title screen? You're trying to hide your identity? What the fuck? Ultrakill is a fast-paced game that has absolutely zero breaks from the moment you turn on the game. They just throw your ass right into the game and tell you to start wrecking shit. You got a gun? Then fucking shoot! The game is frenetic, chaotic. I don't even think I played it properly. I felt like I got flashbang for 5 hours straight. If I had to describe Ultrakill in some sort of way, then the best that I could come up with would be, imagine Doom with the style of Devil May Cry. Even though the game is a first-person shooter, it really feels like a character action game like DMC or Bayonetta through many of the gameplay elements and overall style that this game exceeds. While the game controls similarly to an FPS, the game feels like it has a higher degree of freedom and player expression. There are more movement options than in a standard FPS, and you can do a lot of cool shit as a result. Moving around is just fun. I have literally no other way to describe it. Trust me, I'm trying. I'm currently battling the Merriam-Webster. The game is simple to learn. It's literally just an FPS, but that simplicity also comes with a high skill ceiling to draw the player in. Like any good character action game, the game also features a score system which rewards skill, but also flashiness and a lot of style. The game incentivizes the player to improve, not even just to get the good scores, but because pulling off a bunch of cool looking shit is incredibly satisfying in and of itself. There's a reason for why there's an audience for arthritis inducing games. My hands really hurt after finishing this game. And that's because people want to look cool while doing shit. And a lot of people want to feel like they did all that cool shit, and that is something that Ultrakill does very well. Playing the game feels satisfying. Even on the casual level, there's a lot of depth and player expression to be had, and if you want, you can always delve deeper into the mechanics. Unfortunately, I have places to be, games to play, and bad jokes that still need to be made. The game also has some pretty sick levels. The entire game and its setting feels quite distinct from the typical depictions of hell you may see. I mean, no gators, no swamps, no Disneyland. I think I'm talking about the wrong hell. I mean, it starts out with all the red and fire and stuff like that, but then an entire chapter is inside the body of a beast, another chapter has you explore a bunch of ruins, and another chapter has you explore Egypt. So we're playing in the America of Sonic Adventure 2! Ultrakill is overall an incredibly well-made game, and a great love letter to old shooters. The mechanics and the levels are incredibly polished, and considering the fact that it is still in early access, the potential for this game is nothing short of incredible. I mean, the game is riddled with variety and weapons, enemies, levels, and... what the fuck? I don't quite know what happened. Risk of Rain 2 is a roguelike third-person shooter in which you play as a survivor trying to escape from a hostile alien planet. The premise is simple. Get the fuck out of here. Normally when it comes to roguelikes, you don't really need a deep story to hook the player into the journey. Simply having a great gameplay loop is pretty much the only requirement, and Risk of Rain 2 does a really good job with the gameplay. In roguelikes, you mainly seek to explore the world to find upgrades that will help you beat the increasing dangers of the game. In Risk of Rain 2, you are the danger of the game. Risk of Rain 2 is one of the most fun, most replayable roguelikes that I have ever played, and it's easily up there with the likes of Hades and Enter the Gungeon. The game has a wide variety of characters to choose for a run, and all of them have distinct abilities that encourage you to at the very least try them all out at least once. I'm pretty sure there was not a single character from the many hours I played that was bad to play. All of them have interesting abilities that only become more fun as the game progresses. On its own, the gameplay is fun, the core is pretty solid. I mean, again, it's pretty hard to fuck up a shooter, but what really makes Risk of Rain 2 shine is the progression in a run. Once you get to an area, the main gameplay loop will mainly just be the player running around, getting money and finding as many upgrades as they can. To balance this, and to prevent the players from breaking the game immediately, however, money resets after every area, and the difficulty increases over time, so exploring is a double-edged sword in which you can get stronger, sure, but also risk the later areas kicking your ass. Listen, the game may be hard, but I'm harder. Just like how the game will become incredibly difficult, you quickly become ridiculously broken as well, leading to runs in which literally anything and everything can happen. The game actually does not give a fuck. There are runs in which you will get items that decrease skill cooldowns, increase movement speed when running, walking, or jumping. There will be skills that give you multiple jumps, skills that allow you to summon missile strikes out of your ass. If I kept listing the amount of stuff that there is to use, I'd be talking about this game for as long as I've played it. My favorite type of run, though, are the ones in which I get to use the entire military budget of the United States to create an army of drones that are constantly healing me, dealing damage, and unleashing black holes all at the same time. If I turn around too fast, I think my computer may literally just explode. Don't think this means that the game becomes a cakewalk though, because let me remind you, you fuck around too long, you may end up in a situation like,
oh my god! Oh!
I can't tell what's happening. Worth it. Why did you do this?
The meteors work!
Please.
They work!
They're annoying.
But they work though.
I don't care
yeah,
if they
but
work.
Aaron, have you considered that? Oh shit!
For a mass of drones.
Oh, they,
you can grab that.
bro, they're looking,
Oh my god, they're on his ass.
Oh my god. What is
Women grown dead because I haven't seen a single meteorite in a while.
I'm like seeing this motherfucker creep up on you. Did another fucking grandparent just spawn on your ass?
No way.
So here's the problem. One,
Dude,
you need to kill
the
the scavenger right fucking now, because otherwise he will cause you problems.
I'm kind of fighting the
in case you don't realize, I'm already in trouble.
That's true. Oh, you just walked straight into a Malachite. What
How
the
am I
fuck?
supposed to?
Why the fuck did it just teleport in front of you?
I don't...
Bruh. Bro.
I did some runs with Aaron as he started playing the game around the same time as I did, and Cody because he's the one who actually knows how to play the fucking game. And between the many mature and appropriate comments we made during our many hours together are a couple runs that went as well as we could have hoped. Now here are some highlights of those couple runs that we did together.
Bundle of fireworks.
I can't even see your names on the screen anymore. It's just gun turret, missile drone, gunner
Look
turret,
at the left side of the screen.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, oh my god, I told you.
Aaron, you lucky son of a bitch.
I'm so fucking lucky. I think I'm gonna come.
Boss itself with just scavengers.
Jesus fucking Christ, I can't see anything. I can't
Oh
even
my
tell if I'm
god,
getting
there's
hit
so
half the
many
time.
fucking
Whoa!
explosions.
Another turret can't hurt.
Huh?
No.
Yeah, one, leave some for us, please. I'm pretty sure I literally have, like, one.
El abuelo. Why do you keep setting off fireworks, Juan?
Because I have
he has
to know where
fireworks.
everything. Oh! Oh!
Juan, are you currently running around the map looking for drones?
Look at the list.
Oh my god!
Come on, my legion.
Garfield.
I turn around. Oh my god! I'm like,
They're
I'm not even up here.
They're still coming. Oh, dude, we're kicking his ass. What?
Aaron, you just
I'm dead.
Despite our many runs, there was never a point in which I grew tired of the game. There are so many different possibilities that can happen in a run that despite a crushing defeat or a shining victory, I would still feel the urge to come back. Now I may not be able to tell what the fuck is happening or my left from my right, but I'm able to have a blast while rapidly losing functionality over my brain. Hades 2 is a game that I can come back to for the tight combat. Risk of Rain 2 is a game that I come back to for the pure chaos. Everhood is an RPG focused on musical battles and a bunch of psychedelics, and this time I'm being dead serious, you can actually go on a mushroom trip. I think this probably fits the bill for most insane indie games I've ever played list. The game starts simple, I'll give it that. They throw you into the world and tell you, go fucking find your arm, I don't know. That simple premise, yeah, it's not gonna be simple for long. Everything feels off. Feels like I'm stepping into a combination of a liminal space, a dreamscape, and a purgatory all at once. The game feels quite unsettling, and I feel like that makes the overall experience more interesting, especially after better understanding the truth behind this world. The story of Everhood is quite cryptic at the beginning, and it's only after the halfway point where I really felt like I started to understand the story better. But I don't think that makes the story necessarily bad. The story works really well for what it is trying to do, but at the same time, the story is not what I came to the game for. The gameplay is. Oh, and the music, because I'm about to bust a move! Everhood's combat is like if a bullet hell was combined with fucking Guitar Hero. You know, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm just wondering why Toho hasn't done this shit already. Or maybe they have, I don't know, there's like a billion games in that franchise. The enemies will be busting a groove, and you have to dodge that groove appropriately in order to make it past the enemies. Apart from that, your options are quite limited. You'll be jumping, dodging, and doing a bunch of other things in battles, but there's never really a moment to take a break. You can't really use any items, talk to the enemies, or really do anything in these battles. For the first half of the game, your goal in these battles is to fucking survive, and believe me, shit is not that easy. Now, I don't know if it's the layout of the panels, the velocity of them, or the backgrounds that will kill me, but one of them will achieve that goal one way or another. The gameplay loop feels very fresh for the RPG genre, and is, alongside with the world of the game, one of the things that makes the game stand out so much in the sea of indie RPGs. As I mentioned previously, the game's world feels incredibly off-putting with a setting that feels as magical as it does creepy. You'll be exploring many colorful lands with fun characters all throughout, but all of a sudden you can also start exploring liminal spaces that feel completely alien to the game that you were playing just seconds before. The world has a lot of variety to it, and it stands out as one of the weirdest and most charming worlds that I've seen in an indie game. You know how in Undertale the neutral ending always has this weird feeling about it, like something is missing but you can't quite describe it? Well, that feeling is the entire world of Everhood, and I think that it makes it kinda cool. After the many adventures you partake in though, you reach a point in the story in which you regain your lost arm, and with it, the ability to fight back against the enemies of this game. This is when the game starts becoming more interesting in a mechanical and narrative level, as many of the central ideas of the game are at their most prominent through this part of the game. Battles start getting really good as the entire dynamic of the fight changes. Now you can throw hands, so you have to seize any opening that you can to land a good hit on the enemies, who can often feature new patterns to make the fights feel fresh. This one simple change makes it worth to go around fighting all the enemies again, as it feels like you're experiencing an entirely new game. The experience just is completely flipped over its head, and it's really fucking cool. Everhood is an incredibly creative experience, managing to tell an intriguing story and delivering a tightly designed, wonderful gameplay loop that stays fresh for the many hours you play the game, and alongside the rest of these games, it's an experience absolutely worth having. In conclusion, you should play more indie games, believe me, it'll do you some good. Obviously not every indie game is going to have the same energy these three did, nor is every indie game going to require a warning for people susceptible to seizures and the such like these three did either, but a lot of them share an equal passion and creativity with these projects. Indie games are constantly trying new stuff that other games may be too afraid to try, and that makes these titles some of the most creative and original parts of the industry. Well, that's all the time that I've had for today. I'm just another stranger you met on the internet, but hey, just call me Pseudo.